Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, I don't know why, but I felt really compelled to kind of share kind of some of my life experiences. I don't know why. It's just been like drilled into my head, given to me, and I feel like maybe it's something that could help someone. So the picture is that's me and my husband of 3 years, the most wonderful, caring man in the world. Thank God for him. Um, so when I was born, which was in 1988, I'm the year of the dragon, a Taurus, stubborn as hell. But my biological mother was only 15 years old when she got pregnant with me and had me. Um, obviously, back then it was really different times because, funny enough, before she got pregnant with me, she was actually pregnant prior and she had a miscarriage and she was married too. She got married and it got annulled because she had a miscarriage. But so she was running away a lot. And my mom, well, my grandmother, told her because she was running away to this guy's house. He was like 30 years old. And again, these are really different times because the things that they were okay with back then, I just can't even imagine. But she told her that, if she wanted to marry him, that she had to give me to her for adoption because, she was young. So she wasn't really in a mom type mentality. So she wasn't really involved a lot at that time because she wanted to be free. Nothing against her at all. No shame or anything against her. So she adopted me. My grandmother did. Well, for me, I didn't know that. So when I was around 6 years old, probably 6, 5, 6, my brother, who would be my uncle, told me one day, and I was curious, so I asked if Christy was really her name's Christy, my sister Christy is what I refer to her now, and I know that's really confusing. It confuses a whole lot of people, but my sister Christy, I asked her, I was like, "So you're really my mom?" And she told me, "Yeah, I'm really your mom. Um, Mom adopted you." Well, for me, I don't know, but it didn't. I don't guess it really like shocked me or really did anything significant then. I don't probably didn't even wasn't able to process it really. Um, but fast forward a few years, and the man that Christy, my sister, married, um, he began doing bad things to me when I was 7, um, which continued on until I was 14. Which it's something that I struggled, with because, it stopped when I told and I just, I kicked myself. Not anymore, guys. Not anymore. Please don't think that. But something that I really struggled with was the fact that I didn't tell. Like when I was in grade school, I don't remember why, but they thought that something was happening and they sent me to this place where they had to stick the thingy in me or whatever and figured out that my hymen was torn, but I still are partially torn, not all the way. And I, wouldn't say anything. I was very, I guess, secretive. I don't know what the word would be for that. So I finally did tell when I was 14. And then, legal proceedings proceeded. Well, the man in question, um, he was kind of big in my part of town, in my town. He worked for a bail bondsman, but he was really, really tight with like judges and all of that. So like we both took lie detector tests, you know, we both passed. We both passed. Can you believe that? Um, the theory is that maybe he was drunk every single time and just didn't remember it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. But, you know, whatever. Well, after being, you know, 15 at this time, going through lie detector tests, like I had to go to a grand jury. I had to sit at a table with all of these people looking at me and telling them what happened to me. And they indicted him. Well, you know, because of his connections, um, they actually pled him out to wow, contributing to the delinquency of a minor because he admitted watching something provocative with me. That was probably one of the worst days of my life. And it really showed me the justice system as a whole and how flawed it is. And, you know, my experience with older men, so very young, really showed me that people are not always how they appear to be. They are not always how they seem, and that they should not be trusted. Men specifically. My dad was not in my life, by the way, my real dad. Funny enough, because like how life works. And I will say this one thing, Christy, the moment that I told, she immediately packed up all of her things. She was with this man for 14 years. She packed up her stuff. She left. She divorced him. She never looked back. She never questioned me, ever. And, you know, I cannot be any more grateful for that, for her response, because her response really held me somewhat together. So, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh my goodness. Because I wasn't really planning this, and I'm just kind of telling you as it unfolds. But it kind of peppered me for, and also the way that I was raised. My grandmother was a little bit older. You know, she had already raised like 5 kids, and I was the baby. And she was working a lot, and everybody else had grown up and they were older and they weren't living here for a lot of my childhood. And a lot of my childhood was spent alone and taking care of myself and kind of retreating into myself. My mom, my grandmother is how I'm going to say it for the story. Uh, she was not the type to show emotion like, "Oh, I love you," like hugs and kisses. Like at Christmas, you'd have everything you ever want. Like that's how she showed you her love. Like she wasn't good at it either. Because as I'm going to tell you, this thing that happened to me was a pattern in my family. And with me, it ended because I made different choices when I became older in my life, when I saw me possibly going to be continuing the pattern, and I'd be damned. The buck stops here for me. All of us women, because we mostly my family was a family full of women. We now have males coming in. There was one brother, and then all of us were female. You know, moms, spouses had died or gotten divorced, and you know, it was just predominantly women in my family. So it was a really strong woman dynamic, but it was strong women, but only on the outward appearance. Like it became a defense mechanism, kind of a hardness. And I even had that hardness, especially with those experiences and the injustice that I felt, and, you know, not feeling fully comfortable in my body, you know, wanting to take back my power. And still to this day, I mean, I'm completely healed through that trauma that happened to me. I understand that for my life purpose, it needed to happen. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it right. But I do believe in karma, and I know that he will get what he deserves. That's not for me to worry about. And that's something that really It took me so long to forgive somebody that wasn't sorry, and to forgive somebody that I didn't want to forgive, that I didn't feel deserved to be forgiven. But again, forgiveness is for yourself. And I did forgive him, and I do forgive him. I forgive him for every bit. And for me, I know that justice karmatically and in the end will always be balanced. He will get his just dues, and there is nothing he can do to stop that. I realized, kind of in my 20s, that I, the way that I was raised and kind of being alone and self-sufficient, um, a lot of people would say that they were close to me, but I would not say that I was close to many people, because they were close to me because I'm an empath. So obviously they want to come and I heal them. They talk to me. I help them. I help them try to find a, solution to their problem. I'm a problem solver. I'm a healer. I can help. I'll listen, all of that. And give them the right advice, like any good counselor would. Everybody always said that I would make a great counselor, but I was not even thinking about that. I was able to see things for other people and, not myself. But I saw, because I was an empath and I did soak up people's energy, I had to shut off. And I'm going to be honest, like I shut off for a long time, became very hardened, emotionally distant, didn't let people in, didn't talk to people about my feelings, and I still really don't, because that's not how I handle my issues. I can talk about things, but how I handle my issues is me, is reflection, is shadow working, is going within myself and figuring out the solution, right? Because, I need a real bitch's advice, right? And I'm just not comfortable still to this day with some aspects of being open with people like that. Because when you're open with people, they use things that they know can hurt you. And, recently, my friend, the one that we're not friends anymore, when we were friends, I kind of shared something personal with her. And, to think back, and I was reflecting on it, that's probably the part that hurt me the worst regarding her and the whole fallout of the situation. I've struggled. I'm 33 now. There's nothing that I've ever wanted any more than anything is to be a mom. It's something I've struggled with. It's something that I'm trying to make happen. And I don't know why. I don't really, because I will say this, when I was very respectful in the video of her. I was hurt. And this was before the comment. And, she, after I had made the video later on that day, she messaged me and, she was talking crap to me basically. And, she was talking about Natasha, and the comment that she made, and this comment was made because she knows that there's nothing that I want more than to be a mom, and I'm not able to be yet, or maybe not able to be. And it was the one thing really that I ever opened up to her about. It was the one time that I was really kind of vulnerable with her. So at At this time, she tells me, maybe, maybe if you were a mother, you would understand, which didn't even make any sense in context, really, of the conversation that we were having and what it was about, because it had nothing to do with being a mother. And I'm a fucking mother. Not to my own children, but I mother everyone around me. And I help my niece, who's the baby's father, is kaput. I'm trying to help her. I'm giving her, free childcare right now. Well, actually, for the foreseeable future, because what I want for her is to go to school, to become a nurse, to be self sufficient, so that not being dependent of a man, independent of a man, she and Eli are fine. And that's what I'm offering to her, because childcare is expensive. And right now, I work at home anyway. And it's something that I can do. And it's just so wonderful having him here. I'm a nurturer. I'm a Taurus. I'm a homemaker. That's what I am. But that comment that she made to me, it really it really fucked with me. That, and there's so many other things that I could say about her parenting and things that she opened up about to me, but I would never. And I didn't then either. I just said, wow, and I blocked her. I just said, wow, this conversation's over. I refuse. Actually, I said, I refuse to go where you're wanting to go right now. I'm not doing it. Because I don't want to hurt somebody that I care about. And regardless of what somebody does to me, I care about them. Because when I was from 20, well, I'd say from the earliest I remember until I was about 27, I had shut myself down emotionally wise. I hardened myself. I didn't want to feel, because I can do that. I can make myself not feel shit. I can turn it off or turn it on. But I was in an abusive relationship, and then one day it hit me. If I have a baby with him, I will repeat the fucking pattern. Fuck that. I can't change what happened, but I can change my family's patterns, the ancestral patterns that have been created. I can fucking change them. And that's what I did. I left, got it took me 8 years I was with him from 20 to 28. We were almost together for 9 years. I let him go, and I let all of that go. And from that moment forward, no other man or person, no man that ever came in my life again would ever get a half-ass anything with me. I needed full ass all the time. I needed somebody that was in it like I was in it, that cared like I cared. And I found that person. And through him, I learned to love myself again. And I learned to fully open myself up again. Now, I could not fully trust him and couldn't fully give him my fullness, my full emotions, my full everything at first, because, it was still very hard for me. I was still working through issues, with my grandmother, who was my mother and who was my only parent that I consider my legit parent, was her. And I was mad at her. I didn't know I still had anger towards her. And I was very short tempered with her. And um, she died 2 years ago in 2019. And that was the worst fucking day of my life. It was the day after my birthday. And I found her, and it was very sudden. We thought she had a stomach bug, but it was a heart attack. And, well, actually, it was probably a blood clot in her abdomen that shot up to her heart and killed her instantly. Um, I grieved, but in that grief, and I'm still grieving, like I don't know for the foreseeable future, but I grieved, and through that grief, I wish I could undo that harbor that I didn't know I still harbored that. So I had to deal with all of that, and I did, and it's great that I did. I heightened and opened up a lot of my abilities, and then from that moment forward, I decided that I was going to feel, and I was going to feel it as deeply as I do, because that's the thing about empaths. We feel, and we feel deep. And when things hurt us, they hurt us bad. And that's why we don't let many things hurt us. But from that moment forward, I wanted to feel the good, the bad, the ugly. No more shielding myself from that. I needed to fully bathe in it. And that is what I have done. And it's the best decision that I have made in my life. I'm a better wife. I'm a better person. And, I'm here to heal. And I had to heal myself. And it was important for me to heal so that I could help heal others. And I don't know why I wanted to share this with you. And that's all I'm going to share right now, because I feel like I've rambled on and it's not even something anybody wants to hear about. But it's just a little bit about Carrie. It's just a little Mississippi girl from the birthplace of Elvis. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.